In your marketing stack, what are the 5 softwares you can use to help improve website performance? Sorry folks, but the year is not 1999. Simply having a website doesn't cut it anymore. You need to know, is my website performing really well? To answer that question, you want to set up benchmarks. In the last video we made, we talked about the acquisition channel, so getting people to your website. Companies, marketers spend tons of time, money, and energy getting people to their site through Facebook advertising, Google ads, you name it, organic, SEO, getting them to the site. Once they arrive at your website, what action do you want them to take? This is called the activation stage. So once you've identified on your website what steps you want your user to take, that can be things like purchasing a sweatshirt, calling our phone number on a mobile device, or filling out a lead form. In digital marketing, we call these conversions. Once you have identified, here are the conversions that I care about on my homepage or on my contact page, then you can start measuring and optimizing to improve those results. So jumping right in, the softwares that we recommend to improve on-site optimization and on-site performance. So let's jump right in. We're going to use destination marketing or tourism marketing as our example. And our first software is Hotjar. So Hotjar is a screen recording software. It will actually track your users as they're in real time navigating your site. Well, it's not actually real time, but you can watch the recording of their session. It's amazing. So you can see, boy, they hovered over the call to action button that we wanted them to click on and instead scrolled to the bottom to our footer where our call to action button doesn't exist. And so it's really cool to watch as people navigate your site. And I promise you'll be scratching your head and thinking, I thought this was so easy, and it will be perplexing, it will be frustrating, but it will be extremely valuable to see here's how people are actually navigating our site, not just sort of ones and zeros from Google Analytics. So Hotjar, a great resource, a great software to jump in, get some recordings, and figure out how are people actually using our website. The second software that we would recommend isn't necessarily a software, but more of a strategy, and there's a bunch of softwares to choose from. Online chat. Make sure your website, whatever your activation page is, or whatever the goal of your site is, online chat can remove the barrier to entry and make it easier for somebody to quickly lean in and ask a question without first having to give their email or without having to give their address. If you have a lead form on your site, you'll find that adding chat increases the percentage of people that will readily give their information to that lead form or even give it through the chat box. Softwares like Olark, Snap Engage, and if you use HubSpot, HubSpot has a pretty good chat feature. We use that on our software side, so any of those we would recommend. The third software we recommend to improve website performance for destination marketing or whatever vertical you're in is GeoFly. Now, GeoFly, this is a shameless plug. We created GeoFly under the Pintler Group umbrella, and GeoFly allows you to easily change website content based on visitor location. So somebody visiting your site from New York would see different content than someone visiting that same website from California. Extremely powerful when you're trying to get people on your site, decrease bounce rate, increase pages per session, so surfacing relevant information to them sooner in their customer journey. Think about the person traveling from Texas to California. They might be wondering, well, what's the weather like compared to Texas? Or maybe if you're in economic development, someone's thinking about moving a business from California to Texas, and you can talk about tax advantages. So you want to create different messages for different website visitors, but when you're constricted to one website, that can be really difficult to do. GeoFly helps solve that problem. Software number 4, Instapages. Instapages is a really clean and elegant way to build tons of landing pages for your different personas. Landing pages are such a key feature to any robust and sophisticated digital marketing campaign that it becomes its own world. Building clean landing pages that convert at a high level is extremely important whenever you're designing a sophisticated digital marketing campaign. Again, in the tourism industry, if you're visitaustin.com and you're wanting to promote your city to people all over the country, well, you might want to talk differently to the demographic that you're targeting on Facebook that is young, bachelorette parties. You want to try to steal that audience from Nashville. Or music lovers. Maybe you want to highlight the music scene in Austin. All of this cannot be done on one homepage or even one really marketing focused landing page. Anytime you can segment information, the better. It's 2020, make sure your marketing is very segmented. Last but not least is Zapier. Now this is kind of a funny one because we're in the activation stage. You always think kind of front facing. Well, Zapier works behind the scenes. So Zapier is the integration software that helps take MailChimp forms and turn them into emails. That takes somebody that starts an online chat and sends you a Slack notification when that happens and alerts the marketing team. Take leads and put them into a Google Doc. It's really an integration software. It saves a ton of time. I think it's about $60 a month. The user interface is extremely friendly. You can navigate to different softwares. You can integrate by simply logging into MailChimp, logging into Facebook ads, and boom, you have a seamless integration. Those are the 5 softwares we recommend at the activation stage of marketing to improve your website. Make sure to check those out. If you have any questions, leave a comment below. We'll be happy to respond.